As soon as she entered the room, everyone stopped what they were doing and just stared at her. She was so beautiful, you know, one of those girls who just looks good without putting in any effort. I knew immediately that everyone would want to be friends with her, and I was right. Everyone began to gather around her.
Hey, you're new here, right? What's your name? Hi there. You can sit with me if you like.
And that was just the girls. The boys mostly just stood there staring with their mouths drooling like little lost puppies. As for me, I just sat at the back of the class, trying not to get noticed. But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. This is the only way to be as beautiful as that new girl. As I watched her walk through the classroom, smiling at everyone as she passed, I couldn't help but wish that I was like her. I had been at the school for ages, but I still hadn't made any friends. Sure, kids would say hi to me, but no one ever asked me to sit with them at lunch or to hang out after school. I tried not to let it bother me, but it was lonely sometimes, not having a friend. The new girl, on the other hand, well, it was obvious it wouldn't take her long to make some friends. I felt sure that she would take up one of the many offers that were being thrown at her, but instead, she just kept on walking. I started to get a bit puzzled. Is she coming over to me?
Hi there. I'm new here. Do you mind if I sit with you?
I looked around me, just to double check she wasn't talking to someone else. Yeah, sure, sit down. She sat down next to me.
I'm Rebecca. What's your name?
Clara. I couldn't believe out of everyone in the class, she had chosen to sit next to me. I could see everyone else was just as confused as I was. They were all staring at me, but I didn't care. I was so happy. Maybe finally I will have a friend. From that day on, Rebecca and I became really good friends. It was so nice having someone to confide in and giggle about silly stuff with. I didn't have to sit on my own at lunchtime, pretending I was enjoying my own company. And do you know what's funny? Once I was friends with Rebecca, the other girls started being friendly towards me too. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. They were only using me to get to Rebecca. But I didn't care. It was just nice to be popular for a change. It was about 2 months after I met Rebecca that something strange happened to me. I was walking through the park when I suddenly sensed someone behind me. I turned around and saw a man walking behind me. Is he following me? My heart started beating faster and I quickened my pace. I tried not to panic. Stay calm, Clara. You'll be fine. Suddenly, I heard a shout from the other side of the park. I looked over and was surprised to see Rebecca standing there.
Clara, wait!
I stopped and waited for Rebecca to catch up with me. Hey, what are you doing here?
Oh, I was just going for a jog around the park. You know, a bit of exercise.
Oh, right. I'm just on my way home.
Okay, take care. See you at school tomorrow.
I watched as Rebecca jogged off. The man had also disappeared, so I felt relieved. I had just left the park when something inside me told me to go back. I have no idea what it was, just a weird compulsion to go back there. What I saw there gave me the biggest shock of my life. Behind the public toilets, I could see the man that I had been suspicious of. He was tied up and you will never guess who was interrogating him. Rebecca! I tried to listen to what she was saying, but it was windy and I only managed to catch a couple of words. Princess and kidnap. I was really shocked. What on earth is going on? I thought it was better if Rebecca didn't see me. So instead of saying anything, I just crept away, quietly. When I got home, I went over and over in my mind what had happened. The more I thought about it, the more I became confused. I realized that I actually didn't know that much about Rebecca. I mean, yeah, we were friends, but I didn't know anything about her family or where she was from. When I saw Rebecca at school the next day, I didn't mention anything about seeing her with the man at the park. But I decided I would try to find out a bit more about her. So, anyway, Rebecca, you've never told me much about your family. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
No, it's just me.
What about your mom and dad? What do they do?
Oh, you know, this and that.
Where did you live before you came to the school?
Oh, sorry, Clara. I just remembered. I forgot my maths book. I'll just go back to my locker to get it.
With that, she shot off without a backward glance. I shook my head. She is definitely hiding something. I wonder why she is so secretive about her family. I decided that whatever it wasn't worth losing my friend over, so I just let it go. Anyway, I had something exciting to look forward to. For the first time since I had been at that school, I had gotten an invitation to a party. I couldn't believe it when Maxine handed it to me.
I really hope you can come, Clara.
Thank you, yes, I'll be there. I showed the invitation to Rebecca. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I can't believe she invited me.
Why wouldn't she?
You don't understand. Until you came along, the other girls didn't hardly speak to me. They definitely wouldn't have invited me to their party. We're gonna have so much fun.
Oh, I'm sorry, Clara. You'll have to go without me. I have family stuff to do, so I won't be able to make it.
Oh, that's a shame. I was a bit disappointed that Rebecca wasn't able to go, but nothing could stop my excitement. The night of the party arrived. I wore my best dress and had my hair done especially. When I got to the party, it was already in full swing. Maxine came over to meet me.
Clara, so glad you could come. Help yourself to a drink and then come and join us over here.
I grabbed myself a Coke and went to join the other girls. They were super friendly to me, introducing me to everyone and making sure I had a good time. When their favorite song came on, they all rushed off to dance.
Come on, Clara, we love this song. Come and dance.
I laughed. It's okay, I think I'll sit this one out. I stood there watching them all have fun. Even though I was alone, I didn't feel lonely. It was a nice feeling to be part of their group. I'd only been there a couple of minutes when I heard a voice behind me.
Hi, it's Clara, isn't it?
I turned around to see who had spoken. When I saw who it was, my heart nearly stopped and I could hardly speak. Standing there was only the hottest guy in school, Blake Edwards. Yes, that is me. I groaned inwardly. That is me? That is me? Did I come from the Middle Ages or something? I was mortified. My cheeks turned bright red, but he didn't seem to notice.
I'm Blake. Would you like another drink?
Oh, yes please. Coke please.
Wait here. I'll go and get you one.
I couldn't believe Blake Edwards was actually talking to me. Every girl in our school dreamed of getting a date with him. He had only been gone a few seconds. When the girls arrived back from their dancing...
Clara, is that Blake Edwards you were talking to?
Yes, he's just gone to get me a drink.
Are you serious? He never does anything for anyone. He must really like you.
Do you think so?
Definitely.
Shh, he's coming back. Blake handed me my drink and smiled at the other girls.
Great party, yeah?
Oh yes, it's so much fun. I spent the rest of the evening chatting to Blake.
We should hang out again sometime.
Yes, definitely. Anytime.
Okay, give me your number and I'll call you.
I gave Blake my number, but then it was time to go, so I went to say goodbye to Maxine. I can't believe what time it is. I've had so much fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming. See you at school.
I left the party and started walking home. I hadn't gone very far when suddenly Rebecca appeared in front of me.
You shouldn't be walking home alone, Clara.
Why are you here, Rebecca? I thought you weren't coming.
I changed my mind. And I'm just telling you, it's not safe. You shouldn't walk home alone at night.
Why are you always protecting me? And whilst we're at it, what is it with you and your family stuff?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Every time I ask you any questions about your family or your past, you change the subject or dodge the question. What are you hiding?
You really want to know all about me?
Yes I do, she sighed.
Okay, come back to my house with me now and you will find out everything you want to know.
I followed Rebecca, neither of us saying anything.
This is my home.
I was expecting to see a nice family house, but instead, it was just a small room. Oh, it's nice and cozy. Rebecca opened the door and I followed her inside. What I saw when I got in there gave me the biggest shock. I was expecting to meet Rebecca's parents, but instead, all I saw was a room full of cameras, mics, and what looked like surveillance equipment. What is this? What's going on?
You wanted to know the truth, so here it is.
Rebecca, you're starting to freak me out now. Just tell me what is going on, please.
You'd better sit down, Clara.
I sat on the sofa, and Rebecca began to explain.
Look, this might sound unbelievable to you, but you have to trust me.
I was doubtful, but I agreed. Okay, go on.
Clara, you're not who you think you are.
What do you mean?
You're actually a princess. You came from a small country called Golavia.
Are you crazy? I'm not a princess.
You are, Clara, honestly. You were sent here when you were very young for your own safety. It was dangerous back in Golavia for you, because so many people wanted to abduct you and hold you for ransom. The people you think are your parents are actually being paid to take care of you. Your biological parents are back in Golavia.
I sat there staring at Rebecca, trying to take in everything she had told me. Well, if all that is true, why are you here?
Word got out back in Golavia about where you were living and your true identity. Now there are many people wanting to get you. I was sent to your school to protect you from the inside.
So that day at the park, with that man, was he trying to abduct me?
I'm not really sure, but I couldn't take any chances. When I saw him following you, I had to cause a distraction.
But I saw you later. I came back to the park and I saw you interrogating him behind the public toilet building.
Yes, you're right. I did ask him some questions to see if he knew who you were. He denied everything. Said he was just taking a walk through the park. But it's better to be safe than sorry.
Suddenly, a horrific thought crossed my mind. Rebecca, did you only make friends with me because it was your mission?
No, Clara, I really like you. Of course I was told to introduce myself to you. But after that, we became really close. I love hanging out with you. Please tell me we can still be friends?
I hesitated for a minute. I mean, it's not nice to hear that the person you trusted and you thought was your best friend actually turns out to have been hired to take care of you. But then I realized that I'd be cutting off my nose to spite my face if I fell out with Rebecca. Of course I still want. But before I could continue my sentence, the door to the room came crashing down and around 10 big burly men came running in. I was petrified, but Rebecca didn't look worried.
Clara, get behind the sofa, now!
I ran behind the sofa and watched as Rebecca started attacking the men. Even though it was 10 against 1, she showed no fear. Bang! She threw a punch and knocked one of the men straight to the floor. He was completely unconscious. The next thing, 2 of them lunged at her, but she dodged them and they went sprawling across the floor. Immediately, she spun around and landed a flying kick to both of their heads. One by one, she dealt with each of the men.
Pass me that rope behind you.
I handed the rope to her and she started tying the men up. I was just going to ask her what she was going to do with them when we heard police sirens getting closer and closer. 2 minutes later, the room was filled with policemen.
We'll take care of this now. You can leave them all to us.
I turned to Rebecca. Oh my god, you were amazing. I was so scared when they came bursting in, but you dealt with them like a pro.
You don't have to thank me. That's what friends are for. That is, if you still want us to be friends.
I do. You are my best friend. Nothing could ever come between us. But what is going to happen next?
Well, your identity has been compromised now. There's nothing else for it. You will have to go back to Golavia with me. We need to see what your real parents want to do.
I stood there hesitating before I answered. Move back to Golivia? My real parents? What about my parents back home here? And I was still processing the fact that I was a princess. I was about to respond to Rebecca when suddenly another loud boom sounded and everything went black. Want to know what happens next? Get this video to 30,000 likes and we'll make a part 2. And we'll make a part 2. And we'll